if God created the world and the people in it, did he create all of the other religions too?
I don't think so. If God created all the people and the people in it, did he create all their other religions too? Look, what it is to be human is we create our own stuff. At least to a large degree, we create our own stuff. So we create great art, we create some lousy art. We create good philosophical systems, we create lousy philosophical systems. We build good buildings, we create some bad buildings. We get good bridges and we get bad bridges. And so we are creators. Where that's part of what it means to be made in the image of God, is we create our own things. And part of that is that we create our own mythologies, we create our own stories, we create a lot of stuff, write our own poems and novels and whatever. And God can't be held responsible for all the stuff that we create. That's part of what it means for us to be free moral agents, and we use that to create stuff. I see all religion as being a matter of human beings creating stuff, creating mythologies and stories that reflect their longings and reflect their hopes and dreams and whatever. Some of it's really, really good, and some of it I think is really, really bad, which is pretty typical for human beings. It's kind of like, if the Christian truth claim is right, that God is like this, there's a personal God whose character is revealed on Calvary, and that's really the ultimate, nature of God. If that's true, then you can understand why it might be if we're little examples of what God is, how there might be inside of every human being a sort of an intuition that this is what things should look like. There's an intuition, like we have a longing and an expectation that reality should be a certain way. That's why it's so hard to be a Nietzschean Ubermensch or to live like Sisyphus, is because it's very, very unnatural. It's very unnatural. And I always struggle with that. Being an atheist should be the most natural thing in the world if, in fact, there is no God and we're just products of nature. Why is it so difficult? And so there's this longing, this intuition, and if you're not given the truth, if you don't find the reality to which your heart points, well, what you might do is project it. You tell a story. And I think all the best mythology in the world is really an expression of this longing of the human heart in a context where they don't find the answer to it. So you project your own answer, which is why you'll find in, I think, some of the best of the world religions, mythologies, that in various ways echo Christianity. It's what you'd expect if, in fact, we're made in the image of God, and God looks like the God who's crucified in Christ. But that is a human creation, and so it's going to be mixed up with a lot of other stuff. And I taught world religions for 16 years, and I've read, I think, most of the major religious holy books, the Upanishads, Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, Quran, and whatever. And I would say that I find a lot of good in that. I even find sometimes stuff like in Taoism that I was thinking, gosh, I wish that was in the Bible. That's good. Christianity doesn't have a corner on the truth at all. And so it's not to say that they're all bad, damnable reflections of demonic heresy or something. But you'll also find a lot of stuff mixed up in it that is, I think, I've got good reasons to think that it's not true. Having said that, I'll say one more thing, and that is this. Everything I just said about religion, I would apply to the Christian religion. The Christianity, as it's normally tagged, is, I think, a religion. And it, like every religion, has got a lot of true stuff, including the most important true belief in Jesus. But it's also, look at it historically, it's got a lot of crap in it. And some of it is worse than you find in other religions. Precisely because some of the stuff that Christianity has done, it's done in the name of the one that I think is the true Savior, which makes it far worse than anything Islam or any other religion has done. I don't think Jesus came to start a religion. I think that insofar as it got institutional and religionized, it started to veer off to some degree from the movement that he came to birth. He came to birth a movement of people who would have faith, a relationship with God established by him, and his DNA would be infused into all those whose hearts are open to it, and they begin to look like Jesus and act like Jesus, and he would Jesus-ize the world. Make the world Christoform, Christ-like. That is, I think, what God is up to in this world. Some of Christianity does that, but some of Christianity doesn't. And sometimes you'll find people like Gandhi who are looking a whole lot more like Christ than a lot of the professing Christians. And so there's no clear-cut lines between the religion. I don't even like assessing the world in terms of religion, because what is a religion anyways? It's, we sort of like tag something as religion. Christianity, the religion of Christianity. Well, if you look at it, it's very, very diverse. There's not one thing called Christianity. There's all sorts of things that kind of go by this general name of Christianity. Same thing with Buddhism, same thing with Islam or whatever. I like to take the truth claims one-on-one, and I think I have a good criteria for assessing to what degree I should trust it or not, and that's because I have reasons for believing that Jesus Christ is Lord, and that will be my criteria. But having said that, there's a lot of truth and a lot of false stuff in all of them, in my humble opinion.